Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Today I'm going to be making the case for every single one of you who lives in the city of Austin to show up to City Hall September 25th, 10 a.m. I'll be there at 9 a.m. just to get set up nice and early so that we can talk about what our city's been doing recently. In a few videos I've done recently, I talked about these AI-powered surveillance cameras that are everywhere and why I don't like them. And Ben Jordan honestly did a much better job than I did at describing how these things work. I highly suggest you watch this video. I know it's 35 minutes long. It is incredibly entertaining, informative. It is depressing, but beautiful in just the best possible way. I was talking about these AI-powered surveillance cameras that have been going up all over the country. They've been used for everything from police officers spying on their exes to people getting pulled over on the side of the highway because the AI-powered camera got a 7 or a 3 or a 7 and a B wrong, and just nonsense like this. This presents a problem. Very expensive cameras that are paid for by taxpayers. After I did my video explaining how these things work, how the company puts on their own website, we purposely made the units imposing because we believe people behave differently under surveillance. Suggested everybody showed up and talk about it. And a lot of you were very cynical at this. You said there's no point. My local government's never going to listen to me. Why should I bother? And a lot of people signed up for a hearing that was 10 a.m. on a Thursday morning. 10 a.m. on a Thursday morning is a really bad time to have a hearing because most people are going to be at work. And many of you were saying, I don't think they're going to listen to me anyway. I did a video, came out and said, there's no way in hell these people are actually going to cancel after getting you to take off work at 10 a.m. on a Thursday with no notice. Unfortunately, that's what they did. Over 10 years in lobbying, I've never seen some shit like this. I don't know if that's just how city governments run, because I've done everything at state and some federal level, or if that's just Austin. Not sure. But this was what they did. They backdated this, so this was not sent out to people until August 27th. But this thing that was dated August 26th, that was sent out August 27th, said that they are withdrawing item 33 from the August 28th City Council meeting. Staff expects to bring the item back for council consideration on September 25th council meeting. They expect to bring it back on September 25th. I told everybody to show up anyway, and a lot of you did. You had great signs. We had a lot of great conversation. Everybody even cleaned up after themselves. The steps of the city council building looked better after you all left than it did when we arrived. Thank you for that. You all made sure that your voices were heard outside, even if city council did not allow them to be heard inside. In the process of wanting to sign up to speak, to have our voices heard on this issue, I decided to check and see how I'd sign up to testify. Agenda items open for public comment. Speaker sign up. I don't know which one it is, so let me check the agenda. I go to check the agenda. I search for live view. I notice it's not in the agenda. However, even though it's not on the agenda, it shows up in public communication general. The only two people that are scheduled to speak are Kevin Rabinowitz and Koha Ramini. My apologies if I've mispronounced your name. Investment into LiveView Technologies for cameras at Austin Parks. LiveView Technologies, Parks and Rec contract for mobile security units. There's no agenda item. So I'm not able to sign up to speak. But they are. They signed up to speak under the public communication general section. I'm not really sure how that works because I'm not very familiar with city politics. Again, I've been working at the state level, a little bit at the federal level, but not much at the local level. So I want to sign up to speak. Unfortunately, I'm only able to sign up to speak on October 9th. I cannot sign up to speak at the city council hearing that's this Thursday. I do a little bit of research to figure out why. A person who intends to speak during general public communication must register between 9 a.m. on the 21st day before the council meeting at which the person intends to speak and 4:30 p.m. on the 14th day before the council meeting at which the person intends to speak via the online form of the city's website, by telephone, or in person. And this is a separate form than the form that you use to speak on regular issues. Now, I went to look up these two people, the only two people that are able to speak about the AI-powered surveillance cameras they want to spend $2 million to install all over our city. And guess who they are? Kevin Rabinowitz, Regional Sales Director at LiveView Technologies. Koha Ramini, Remote Surveillance System. Remote Security Systems, Law Enforcement Government, LiveView Technologies. So here's how this works. If you don't sign up, you cannot speak on an issue. But you can sign up to speak on this issue because it's not on the agenda. The only way to speak would be to sign up as a public communication, which you cannot do because that requires a separate form that most of you don't even know exists. I don't know this exists, and I spent 11 years lobbying for right to repair all over the country. I had to figure that out today after spending a half hour browsing the City of Austin's website. So here's what's going to happen on Thursday morning. People who work as the lead salespeople at this company are going to show up and they're going to speak to the city council, and they're going to speak to you. And they're going to tell you why it is you're going to sign a contract for $400,000 to $2 million to have AI-powered surveillance installed all over your city. And you're not allowed to say anything back. You know those hearings that I've went to that you see all over the legislative page on my channel? When you hear that we only get 90 seconds to speak or 2 minutes to speak and 3 minutes to speak. And then you get to hear the opposition talk and they'll make stuff up. They'll say that we're installing TikTok on people's phones, that magnetometers are going to explode, all sorts of crazy stuff. But at the very least, they have the decency to give us the 90 seconds to be able to say our piece. You're going to show up as a taxpayer, and you're not allowed to speak. But they are. Let's take a look at the timeline of this. I wrote it down just to make sure I didn't forget. August 26th. Withdrawal memo is dated, but not distributed. August 27th. Citizens finally notified via email at 12:49 p.m. less than 24 hours notice. You're not allowed to speak on the issue. But they tell you that they may bring it back for September 25th. September 25th, no live view item on the agenda despite promises. Yet, Rabinowitz and Rahimi are able to speak unopposed. So the company gets to get heard, but you don't. Had the chance to have a conversation with one of the marketing representatives from this company. Very interesting conversation. Went over a couple of things I wanted to show you.
And so one of the things that we do is we don't track individuals. So we're not looking at, we never do facial recognition. We don't have facial recognition software. We do that on purpose for privacy.
I'm going to head over to lvt.com/features/security-data-analytics. Can you do me a favor and ensure that this is archived on archive.today, archive.org, and many websites? Because I have a feeling that after today, this website's going to change. Have questions about how LVT helps? Read our FAQ below. What are video analytics? Video analytics is a technology that utilizes artificial intelligence and deep learning algorithms to automatically analyze video content from surveillance cameras. It enables functionality such as facial recognition. How fucking stupid do you think I am? How fucking stupid do you think the viewers of this channel are? When you wrote this, when you said that to me, were you lying to your clients or were you lying to me? This is what they like to call in the honeymooners, heads I win, tails you lose. And if you're willing to lie to either your clients or to all of us, why the fuck should we give you $2 million? Yes, I recorded that phone call. And if you don't like that I recorded that phone call without saying so, well, now you know how we feel. Somebody was really mad about that recently, but I played back their own words. He wanted to sue me. His law firm fired him. I don't like playing stupid games, but I win stupid games. It was an interesting conversation. As the conversation went on, I don't really have to make the case against these cameras. The marketing department does it for me. We don't track individuals. But then he says, we're able to go back and use AI to actually identify individuals by the clothes they're wearing. He talks about crime prevention, because I asked him to talk a little bit about that saying that you see in the thumbnail of my video. This is a saying that was on their website. We purposely made the units imposing because we believe people behave differently when under surveillance. Live view technologies. He gives me an example. He says, catching criminals, that's great. What's even better is if the crime never happens. He gives me the story of a Kansas City bombing. It was right after the bomb and they were able to go back on the footage. So there were these kids that were using fireworks to create a bomb. And they put the bomb into a garbage pail. And then it went off, all in view of the camera, which never alerted the authorities, which never did anything. Great sales pitch. He claimed that the customer owns the footage, while also saying that it's transmitted to a server that's owned by LVT. I don't see a self-hosting option here. It's something that I'm into. You may have learned that from the 900-page guide that I wrote. When I asked directly if he'd want cameras in all 400 parks, he refused to answer. The third time, he said, I personally, as a community citizen, would hate to see cameras on every corner watching every square inch of everything. Marketing representative of the company wouldn't even want this. Why should we? It is obvious to me at this point that this is a game. But I don't like playing other people's games. I prefer to play mine. Because at the very least, if we're playing a game, we get to have fun. You're not allowed to talk about the cameras. They're allowed to talk about the cameras. Because they knew that there wasn't this form, it was this form that requires 21 days notice and not 3 days on a different part of the website that most of you are not even fucking aware of. They won. They won their game. But you see, that's the problem. Most of you are thinking of playing their game. I want to play mine. See, this is a question I get on my channel all the time. Lewis, how do you talk about negative issues every single day of a company or a politician or a lobbyist lying and screwing people over and selling out their constituents like the Farm Bureau did in Maryland when I played that recording? Or how do you stay sane? How do you have a smile on your face every single day? Because I'm playing my game. I'm not playing theirs. And that's what keeps it fun. That's what keeps a smile on my face. And I want to see a smile on your face too. If I were to show up, I would be happy to speak outside the building. Let everybody know passing by why they should care about this. Let my voice be heard. Have a sign that has a picture of their own website saying that they do facial recognition while simultaneously playing that little recording of that marketing executive telling me that they don't. Talking about how they want to prevent crime, and that's why it's worth spending millions of dollars on these before they happen, as they bring up a story of their best case scenario of their cameras watching somebody build a bomb and put it in a garbage pail in real time and do nothing. And if you want to speak, you go to the speaker sign-up page, and because you're playing their game, when I read through the item, I guess it's not on the agenda, so I'm not going to be allowed to speak on it. That's their game. My game would be something like this. I wanted to sign up to speak last time, and you didn't let me. Meh, let's just choose any item this time. What the hell? For, against, who cares? Just do that. You sign up, you put your name in there, and then once all your information's in there, you show up, and then when the city council person says, Anthony, what do you think of garbage pails being turned from green to red in the city of Austin so that we can save money on paint? You go, don't really care, but let's talk about AI surveillance cameras. And then somebody says, hey, we're not allowed to talk about that. Yeah, I know. But last time you said I could talk and you didn't, so you're going to listen to me this time. And if they say you're absolutely not allowed to speak, you leave. You wasted 30 to 45 seconds of their time. Another 15 to 30 seconds for the next person to walk up. And the next person walks up. And he gets asked the same question. My friend, what do you think of item 87 on the agenda where we are thinking about changing the color of bottle caps from green to red on this particular... Yeah, I don't know what I think about that item. Let me tell you what I think about AI surveillance cameras. Maybe that guy gets kicked out. Maybe they say, you're not allowed to speak. You got to leave. Fine. He goes outside. Next person comes up. Over 70 people showed up last time. Let's get hundreds of people to show up this time. And if hundreds of people show up this time and do the same thing, you send a message that if you would like to have a city council hearing where you discuss issues, you've got to stop screwing with your constituents. Even if you don't get your voice heard inside, you've played your game, not theirs. If you choose to do this, you're going to act like a consummate professional. You are not going to yell. You are not going to trespass. You are not going to cause a scene. And if somebody asks you to leave, you leave. There are members of the Austin City Council that don't want to see $2 million get spent during a budget crisis on AI-powered surveillance of its residents that doesn't even work. You are not there to disrespect the people. Rather, you are there to demonstrate peacefully, kindly, and politely that you will be listened to, and then you will not be disrespected yourself. Do not lower your personal standard for behavior simply because somebody else has lowered theirs. Looking back on my life, the moments that I regret the most are the moments where I lowered my personal standard for my behavior because somebody else lowered theirs. You get to hold your head high walking in and out of that building. Keep that in mind. Every one of you did exactly what you were supposed to do. You were kind. You were courteous. You were polite. You took your sick days. You filled out the form. You showed up and you were polite. You cleaned up the damn steps of the city council building. You bought water with your own money and you handed it to passerbys and the homeless. Every single one of you behaved incredibly well. You showed up and you politely, courteously, and kindly let your opinion be heard. You spoke and made friends with people around you, and you even cleaned up your damn corner of the world. Exactly what I've been advocating here for 13 years. There was litter on those stairs when I got there. There was no litter on those stairs when we left. And that was because of all of you. Thank you for that. If you want to show up on Thursday morning, I highly suggest that you do so. Which agenda item do you sign up to speak for? That's up to you. You don't deserve to be treated the way that they treat you. Whichever game you choose to play, I'll support you. This is not what I wanted. I wanted people to simply be able to show up and speak to their representatives as tax-paying citizens of the city they live in. And here's the thing that bothers me about this more than anything else. This is the thing that bites me in the ass every single time I do it. It's when I assume the best of people. In this video, what did I say? There's no way in hell that these people are so petty that they would actually cancel something less than 24 hours before it's scheduled after scheduling a meeting at a Thursday morning at 10 a.m. There's no way. Nobody's that bad. I've dealt with politicians for over 10 years and I've never seen that shit. I stuck up for the Austin City Council when every single one of you said they're not going to listen to anybody. And here's how you're going to show up. You're going to get a haircut. You're going to take a shower. Wear a dress shirt. Wear a set of dress shoes. Don't dress like somebody that they can pick out and say, those are the people that we need to get out of here. They're obviously the people that are going to disrupt the city council hearing. You're going to dress and appear like the best version of yourself because that's who you're going to bring. You're not going to give them a single excuse. You're going to be polite, courteous, and kind. You sign up and you're going to speak about the issue that matters to you, which is your right because you already signed up to do this 1 month ago and they took it away from you. For me, this is not even about AI-powered surveillance cameras anymore. It is about the game. I do not respect this game. I think this is a cowardly game to play. And there's only one way to respond to stuff like this. Show up. 10 a.m. Thursday. I'll be there by 9. In front of City Hall, September 25th. There'll be a link in the description down below for anybody who wants more details. Or to see the link where you sign up to speak. And when you sign up to speak, present yourself well. Dress well. Take a shower. Get a haircut. Bring your best self there. But don't be taken for a fool. I don't allow that to happen to me. I won't allow that to happen to you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.
We also have the duty not to infringe the IP rights in the process. It is in fact the manufacturers who have the relevant rights, not consumers.